Greetings, I'm Chappers, we're in Andertons, and this is the fantastic Chris George of Marshall fame. This guy can shred like a mofo, and he's here to tell us about the awesome JMD1. Chris, tell me about these 1,710 different amps packed into one box.
Exactly, 1,710. There's actually 16. So what it is Marshall have a good back catalogue of sounds of amps that we've made in the past. So the idea was to put a lot of those much loved sounds into one box. So doing it digitally makes us, we work with a company called Softube with this, and they do really great digital replication of analog equipment. And so yeah, we came up with an amp where you've got 16 digital preamp sounds, and they range from everything from like the more recent JVM stuff back to JSM800 and even Hayes stuff.
There's a couple of pedals as well, aren't there?
Yeah, a couple of pedals. There's the governor pedal is in there, which are really distinct sound.
Yeah.
So that's basically the governor pedal going straight into the valve stage, and that sounds great as well.
I heard that for the first time at the NARV show when I saw one of these. And the guy that, I think it was Tom Jones.
Tom Jones? I know exactly who you're talking
We
about.
called him Tom Jones because he looks a little bit like Tom Jones, and he showed me this, and he cranked it right up with that one with the pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was unreal.
Yeah, it really is. And it's not like, trying to, like we were talking earlier, trying to get across to someone that, as soon as someone hears the word digital, it's like, oh my god, and that kind of thing. But it's so close to the real thing. It was, through development, it was always compared with the original amps it was supposed to be.
And this is action packed full of tube as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, EL34 valves inside, which we're obviously known for doing, and they're the two key things. And it's other companies are starting to do it now as well. But we just feel that it's, when you've got such a great preamp sound fed straight into the valves, it's a really cool sound.
I often say to people on YouTube, because I've played one of these for many months and really like it, there's no difference in this than there is really having a clean valve amp and then just having an effects processor that's really high tech, or a bunch of pedals, So Chris, tell me about the many effects there are built into the JMD1.
Okay, so you've got two kind of separate things going on. First, you've got modulation effects, and then you've got your delay effects. So the modulation consists of chorus, phaser, flanger, and tremolo, which is very cool. There's also a noise gate in there, which is great for the really high gain stuff, and it just cuts everything out. But next to the modulation adjust, where you choose which effect and like the depth of it all, the rate of it all, you've got a depth control there. So for every effect, if you want a nice light chorus with not much depth going on, you can set it to that. So, and then actually the depth control for the noise gate becomes a threshold. So you've got a full sweep of your noise gate.
And that noise gate was the one thing that really impressed me above everything else.
It was actually put into the amp really late. It was found what else could we squeeze into the amp that we haven't got in there? And because of some of the higher gain settings, particularly when you get up to sort of number 15, 16, which is like the JVM style stuff, you obviously get a lot of natural gain hiss and so on. So we thought by putting the noise gate, it's a nice little feature, and because of the way you can store the sounds, you can assign it to that as well. So yeah, and the gate's absolutely brilliant, but very very responsive still if you want it to be. If you want to hold out a big note and stuff like that, you can still do that. Because of the threshold, you can to find a sweet spot is really easy. And the other, the delay effects as well. So you've got not one type of delay, you've got 4 different types of delay. So you've got hi-fi, analog, tape and multi. You've got a delay level control just here, and then you've got your tap tempo, which is this light that's flashing on there the whole time. At any point you can change the not only what type of delay you've got, but the speed of it.
I was amazed.
Yeah, it's a really good absolutely. It's one of those things where reverb, people can be really, really fussy about it, but since it's come out, I've noticed people have been actually, with all this stuff that's going on in the amp, they really love the reverb amongst everything. And you think that was just like, maybe people would see it as an afterthought, but they actually really, really get it.
It's really, really natural sound.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you can program this bad boy to do anything you want.
Yeah, exactly. So you can store everything up in this amp. You've got the capability of 4 channels on the front. So if you're using the amp, just you and the amp without any of the foot controller, it's really easy. You choose the preamp, set your EQ section if you want some effects, and then you put them in, and then you just hold down one of the channel buttons and it's stored to that channel. It's really simple as that. It stores absolutely everything apart from the master volume and presence controls. Absolutely everything. So EQs, what effect you had, where it was set, how much depth, etc. If you want to take it one step further, every JMD1 unit comes with its own foot controller. There's 2 ways of using the foot controller. Firstly, you can access those 4 channels from the foot controller and then have 2 more buttons to switch something in and out, like the effects or something like that. You can program any of the front button features to a button on the foot controller if you want, kind of like what you could do with the JVM and the current MG stuff. So you can do that, or you can put it into its secondary mode and you can actually store 28 sounds which are ready to go. And it's a really soft blend if you change channels. It isn't like it's like a soft blend through. It's very natural, absolutely. Yeah, so you've got all that, and like I said, the foot switch comes in the box with the amp, so it just takes a really great concept and just lets you have the most of it, kind of.
When I first met Chris George, he showed me a photograph of something that got me really excited in a very guitar masculine way, and he shared this with me, and it was about Joe Satriani and his tonal settings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he came into Marshall last year, and he uses. What I was really impressed about was that on the JVM it has resonance and presence controls, and he has them both wound all the way up. And I'd never tried it actually before, and you tried it and you think it's really cool.
It's just more.
Yeah, exactly. It's just more of everything, you know. And it works really well.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. So, Chris, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the amazing JMD1 here at Andertons?
Yeah, a couple of other things. You've got an external effects button just there, so the amp has an effects loop on the back. If you run it through, you can switch in your external effects there, and you can control it from the foot controller. You've got a compare button just there, so if you get to a preset sound, one of your own presets, and you want to fine tune it, but give it a little bit more middle, maybe a little bit less treble, whatever, you can hit the compare button and you can keep comparing the 2 sounds.
I thought a guy jumped out and introduced you with a mic.
Yeah, exactly, a compare, exactly.
See what I did?
That happens to us. Like the whole thing runs MIDI, so if you run MIDI, you can have up to 128 sounds.
My die.
Yeah, XLR line out on the back for recording, and it's all groovy.
It's all groovy here at Andertons with Marshall and Chris George. So I understand there's a myriad of programmable words that made sense in a different order possibly that I could think of again. try again. So you can program this bad boy to do anything you want, can't you?
Yeah, so I have to go.